Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. No. Welcome to our first video on YouTube. So I hope you all are doing great. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about tenses. To be more specific, simple present tense. You're going to learn what simple present is, how to use it, when to use it, and every other thing that you need to know. And before we start, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a lesson. Simple present is the most used tense among all the tenses that I think native speakers use a lot. We use simple present in one of these situations. Situation number 1. When we want to talk about things that happen all the time, or at least sometimes. Things that we call our habits, our routines, our daily routines, and we do them all the time. For example, I go to work, I wake up at 8, I brush my teeth. I do these things pretty much all the time. So they are regular activities. Situation number 2. Things that are generally true, like the sky is blue, the sun is in the sky, today is a Saturday. That's a fact and we all believe it's true. Situation number 3, when we want to talk about things that are scheduled or have timetable. For example, for buses, trains, flights, we have a timetable that says when does the train leave, like the train leaves at 11. Or for example, I can say my class starts at 6 p.m. every day. So it happens all the time and I have time fixed for it. The structure is pretty simple. All we have is subject plus the base form of the verb. For example, I go, you come, we fly, they believe, she eats, he drinks. One thing that is important here is that S that we add to the third person singular, he, she, and it. So it's not a plural S, it's kind of a grammar that we add S to the verb in the third person singular. We will get back to this S later. Now if we want to make it a little bit more detailed, we have 3 forms in simple present: affirmative, negative, and question form. So when we talk about affirmative, it's pretty simple. I, we, you, they play baseball. He, she, it plays baseball. So it's the subject and then we have the base form of the verb. But there is an exception here, and that is for to be verb. To be verb has its own forms. So I can say I am, you are, they are, we are, he is, she is, it is. We've got something called contraction that shortens the form, so I am becomes I'm, you are becomes your, they are becomes their, he is his, she is shiz, it is its. The negative form will be I am not, I'm not. You are not becomes you aren't or you're not. We are not, we aren't, or we're not. She isn't, she's not. He isn't, he's not. We mostly use a simple present with adverbs of frequency, with words that show how often we do things. Always means that we do them all the time, or never, that we never do them. So it's 100% we do it, it's 0% that we never actually do it. So we have always, usually, often, sometimes, hardly ever, and never. For example, he always goes to school. He never plays football. I sometimes go to bed at 10. And these adverbs of frequency come before the main verb. I always go to school. I never go to school. Again, there is an exception if we have a to be verb, as in am is are, the adverb comes after the to be verb. So the position of these adverbs, if we have the main verbs, it becomes before them. If we have to be verb, it comes after to be. She always plays the piano. She's always happy. Now let's get to the negative form. We have the same sentence we had for affirmative with only one difference. We add two words before the main verb, do and not. So, I do not play baseball. And the same goes for we, you, they. Do not play baseball. He, she, it does not play baseball. One thing we can do in this sentence is that we can merge these two words, do and not, so it becomes don't, don't, and does and not, doesn't, doesn't. So we remove that O before T and we add a little comma which is called apostrophe. It becomes don't and doesn't. Now let's get to the question form. So we had affirmative, negative, and now we have question form. Before explaining that, we got to know that we've got two types of question in simple present. Yes or no questions, WH questions. When we want to make a question that has a yes or no answer, we add a do or does before the sentence we used in the affirmative. So we have, do I play baseball every week, for example? Does she play baseball every week? So all we did was to add a do or does before the affirmative sentence. So how do we answer to this question? Do you work? Yes, I do. Or no, I don't. It's short answer and we answer it like this. Does she go to school every day? Yes, she does. Or no, she doesn't. It's not really common to ask, do I do something? For example, do I go to work by bus? We normally don't do that. When I ask a question, it's about somebody else. So I ask somebody else if they do something or if they don't. Do you drink milk? Yes, I do. So the question is with you, the answer is with I. Okay, let's get to WH questions. WH questions again add only one word to the yes or no question form sentence. So, in the yes or no question, we had, do they play baseball every week? We can add when. When do they play baseball? Where do they play baseball every week? We add that WH question before the do or does. There are some things that you need to know. So, as I said, this S that we add for the third person singular is not a plural S. It's a grammar. But for the verbs that end in CH, SH, S, and X, we have ES and it's pronounced like us. For example, watches, washes, relaxes. When we have a consonant plus Y, it becomes IES and it's pronounced like ease. So we have study plus S, it becomes studies. She studies biology. And when we have go plus S, it becomes goes. The spelling has E and the pronunciation is goes. So that was today's lesson. I hope you've learned it. I hope you've enjoyed it. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button as we're going to come back with more lessons. Follow us on Instagram, Rhoda.IELTS, Rhoda.English, and see you later. Bye-bye.